Hello, good evening, everyone. Um, it's another Wednesday, and this is episode 14. Okay, let me get this one out because nobody's going to speak to me. I'm going to speak on my own. And my name is Andrew, and this is the episode 14 of Ask Andrew Anything on Email Marketing. So, uh, what should I say? Let me see. I've got a comment section set up. I've got LinkedIn here, and I've got my slides here. All right. So without further ado, what I do is normally I spend about 20 minutes to 30 minutes answering your questions on anything on email marketing. Okay. The idea is to serve you and help you along in your email marketing efforts. Okay. So without further ado, let's uh, let's start with our screen. There you go. And I'm going to move this here so that it looks a lot more cooler this way. How's that? Okay. So what do? I basically help businesses build deeper relationships with their prospects and also their clients through emails, of course, so that selling becomes effortless. All right. So that's as simple as that. So if you have any questions, all right, if you're attending this live on my LinkedIn or you're attending through Jason's Facebook group and also my YouTube channel. You can always submit your questions here. You just need to scan out. By the way, I've just added a URL at the bottom just in case some of you may not like the idea of using your phone to scan. It's ans.digital ask-andrew anything, and it will lead you to a simple Google form. Fill in your emails, fill in your email address, and then just fire off with your questions. And then next week, I'll pick it up, do my research if I need to, or basically prepare your answers, and I'll go on live and answer your questions. As simple as that. Okay, cool. So if you want to know a bit about me, and you can always follow me on my LinkedIn. And this is at the moment one channel that I'm more active in. Maybe within the next couple of weeks if I can find my time, and I'll probably do that on Facebook as well. But primarily for now is LinkedIn is my channel because that's where my audience hang out. Okay, so if you want to follow me and get some basically posts or basically ideas that I put up, whenever I get some inspiration to write, you can follow me on LinkedIn. Same thing, ans.digital/LinkedIn. Okay, so I've just added, after 14 episode, I decided to simplify things a bit. So you can either scan a barcode or you can just type the URL there. All right. So any comments so far? No? Okay. All right. Let's continue. Oh, by the way, I also have provide free marketing resource on email, of course, and you can actually go to this URL free.resources, and basically there are two newsletters, actually three newsletters that you can decide to sign up whichever that fits your requirements, and I will provide free content through my emails, which I send for me I write every day, but normally you will get either Tuesday or Thursday, or Monday and Wednesday, and one on Friday. But generally, at most, you will get 3 emails from me in a week. Okay, so enough of that. Let's start with a question from Trisha. Okay, and Trisha is basically asking. Let's see before okay, if there's any. So Trisha is basically asking, do I really need to allow my subscribers to reply to my email marketing, my marketing emails? All right, and basically because she's lamenting that it's going to add a bit more workload, but because now she has to respond to those emails. Okay, so Trisha, here's some what you call that, uh, some benefits, okay, of doing so. Right. So let's start from a simple angle of okay, this is going to be a mouthful. LITY. Okay. From an angle of email deliverability. Right. So basically, what happens is you want to make sure that your email gets into the inbox and not end up in spam or junk folder. Right. That's very clear. So this is something that we don't want. We basically want this one. Okay. So in order for this to happen, the ISPs, or what you call that, the inbox providers, your Gmails, your Yahoos, your Exchange, okay, we'll be looking at these signals. One is obviously the engagement between their clients, which is their inbox providers. So, for example, if you have a Gmail account, so you are a customer of Google or Gmail, okay. So engagement between their clients and your email, right? And that comes in several forms. Whether do they actually, you know, do they click on your email? That's one signal, okay. And the other one is, do they basically move them? For example, if you're, when you're initially sending, very likely that your emails may end up in promotions, or sometimes, uh, this is a so-called a secret box that Gmail doesn't tell us. Sometimes your email may end up in promotions. So if your subscribers or your email recipients drag them into their inbox, then that is a signal that your emails are important. And from then on, they will make sure, or Gmail will make sure, that your emails would land into your inbox, in their inbox, as much as possible. Okay. Another one is either, they save your email into their contact list. So generally, if you notice, a lot of email, people send emails out at the end of, let's say, a thank you page, whatever. They'll tell you a few things: whitelist their email address, okay, add them into their contact list, for example, or either check your spam box, and then if the email is there, drag it into your inbox. Generally, these are the three things. In the thank you page, they will probably say that. Now, the thing is this: most readers don't do that. Okay, nobody's going to, not many people. If you ask them how do you whitelist an email, not many people would know, and even with given the instructions, very likely that they will ignore. Okay, so here's the secret: when you write an email or marketing email and you allow them to reply to your email, automatically what it does is it then, your ISPs would then add your email address into contact list, because you are replying them as an engagement. So this activity is a lot more simpler for your subscribers to do, and it makes sense, because end of the day, the reason why you send an email is not just to blast and tell people about what you have and all these things, or what you have to offer, but the idea is to create a one-to-one communication, right? Going back to the very basics of email, the reason why we email marketers do the things that we do is we want to help clients develop their one-to-one conversation, right? So when you segment your list, basically segment the list properly, for example, then I can send specific message to the specific readers. So that way, you would then increase engagement. And when you allow them to reply, so that's why you notice I tend to frown. And some of the, a larger, basically what you call that, uh, that company name. Okay, so larger companies, sometimes they will have, you will see this email, no reply. Basically, they say you're not supposed to reply, right? And this will also come when they send you transactional emails, right? Transactional emails means, for example, let's say your invoice, when you made a purchase, obviously there's nothing to reply. So they will send through this, no reply. Or for example, if, let's say you forgot your password and you request for a password. So those are the so-called transaction emails, which would then basically be useful if you have the no reply. But generally speaking, if you're writing a marketing email and you're trying to convey your offer, and you're trying to basically convince your readers to take action, for example, I would strongly advise you to allow them to reply. And in your email copy as well, you can also encourage them to reply, right? So sometimes when you do your nurture sequence, for example, and you have a point of view that you want to share, and then you can then ask them, for example, reply and with their own opinion. So then that allows that two-way conversation. So it's great for your business, and it's even greater for your email deliverability. Okay, so that's one. Now, from a business standpoint, okay, so that's for the technical side. So from a business standpoint, you want to build that relationship, right? with your audience. All right, which is why if in my introduction, what I do is I help customers or my clients basically build deeper relationship with their prospects and also their customers. Right. So you want to build that relationship. That's why you do email marketing in the first place. Right. It's for you as a channel, an exclusive channel between you and your subscribers and your customers or even your prospects. Okay, because if you broadcast on social media, it's for everybody. So they could be your customer or they could be, happen to land into your page without any context, for example. But when you get them into your email list, you are basically building a relationship. So by virtue of allowing people to reply, you are basically encouraging that conversation. Now, wouldn't it be nice where you now have a very cheap and very efficient and very cheap and efficient, what you call that, medium for you to actually have the conversation with your customers or your prospects, right? They can, knowing very well that they can write. If they want to complain, it's between you and them, right? And it's not public on your social. If they want to compliment you, great. You can even capture that as your testimonials or whatever it is if you want. But more importantly, because now they have a channel to reach out to you. And that's what the purpose of business is to serve your customers anyways, right? Unless you tell me that your purpose is you are not interested in your customers, you just want to push products or push your services to them, get their money, and that's it. So if that's the case, then better not to do email marketing. Just run offers, run ads, spend tons of money, and then basically get them to buy and basically not have that relationship moving forward. Because then what you will do is you'll be on the hamster wheel trying to find new leads, trying to get new customers, but you don't even nurture or basically grow your relationship with your existing customers, right? You can't resell, you can't upsell, you can't do much. But by virtue of having this email and allowing them to have this conversation with you, you're actually now the next time is you're building that know, like, and trust at a deeper level, and they have this loyalty. You're trying to build that loyalty with your audience. Okay, so Trisha, that yes, it may add a fair bit of workload because you may have to respond, but look at it this way: how often that you actually have, it's a privilege to actually have your customers or prospects actually telling you maybe what they want. Maybe the offer is not right for them, but they're looking for something else. That's your market feedback. All right, that's the most valuable feedback that you may possibly have. Right. So by having this, allowing them to reply, and all you need to do is maybe spend an hour at the end of business day, for example, to go through the replies and then respond to them. And that's about it. You don't have to respond immediately. All right. It's not like a messenger or WhatsApp, for example, or mobile SMS that you have to respond immediately. You can respond within the business day itself. Right. But now you actually can reach out to them. And by virtue of you responding, it actually builds that bond. Right. They know that there's a human being on the other end. And you know very well that when you send email, there will be a reaction coming back, either positive or negative. Either way, you get feedback. Okay. So Trisha, that is two side of benefits. At the increase or so-called improvement in your email deliverability by virtue of people replying to your email. Number two, more importantly for business, you now get to have what you want, which is basically that one-to-one relationship with your subscribers. Okay, cool. All right. So let me see. Let's skip to this. Oh, okay. Uh, it's one question today, and let me have my coffee. And I want to share something with you today. All right, just give me a couple of minutes. Over the last 2 years plus, I've basically come to the realization that business should be simple. I've gone through that, that journey where you have complex funnels, you have complex sequences, and complex offers and whatever it is, whatnot. Now, while it's great for the ego because you can do something, it basically, you may think it impresses your prospects, but generally what they want is for you to solve their problem. All right. So if you focus on that, and this is what I have come to realize, and basically I'm making some revamp into the way I do things. I like things to be simple. Okay. And it makes sense because by keeping all your funnels and all your sequences and all these things simple, it's easy for you to manage and it's easy for you to basically keep track and update and also know if something breaks in the middle. Okay, so if you have a convoluted funnel system or email sequence. And when things don't work, you really don't know where to start. And over a period of time, I can guarantee you, and I've gone through that before, that you kind of forget basically which sequence leads to what. Okay. So with that in mind, I would like to basically work with, for now, 5 customers, if possible, to focus on one thing. Okay. This one thing is basically to have one domain, one business domain. If you don't have, you can set up. It's quite fast. It takes a couple of minutes, right? And it's relatively cheap. The other one is your one email address, and we focus on one social media. Pick the one that your audience reside in, and obviously you need to have one email marketing platform. Okay, and from there, if you want to run ads, then you run one particular platform or one ad accounts, and we're going to focus on one product or services. Okay, or one product or service, right? And at the same time, these are the conversion side of it. You would have one landing page, one conversion mechanism. In this case, Mike will be basically, book a call. Some of you may be sent to the sales page, for example. Some of you may send to your e-com page, for example, or product page, for example. Generally, one conversion mechanism to complete that transaction. And we're going to set up one email campaign. And I'm going to basically take 1 week, work with you to set it up. And we're going to run this for 1 month. One campaign, one product, 1 month, and 1 week to set it up. And all this is being kept simple because you have just one landing page to manage. And the objective is within 1 month is to increase sales. Make sense? Cool. So this is what my latest program that I'm doing. And in line with what I want to do to keep things simple, is my 7-day sprint program. Okay. And the idea is within 7 days, we're going to set up all these things up so that you have the next 3 weeks, or even earlier if we can do it faster, to actually run and test and see whether your email list or your clients, basically, when you reach out to emails, can actually convert to sales. I've worked with several customers from restaurants, um, you know, um, to even individual brands, for example, or individual owners who, either coaches or teachers, for example, and they have actually seen positive results, which is basically conversions from there within a month. All right. So let's keep things simple. This is a 7 days sprint program where I work with you for 7 days to set all these things up, done for you. And at the same time, we're going to run this for 1 month based on one particular campaign. All right. And then for subsequent months, if you find this is to your satisfaction, we can continue. Okay. And my conversion mechanism, very simple, is 7 days sprint ants.digital. When you click on this link or you scan this code, it will lead you to a calendar where you can then book a call. We're going to brainstorm for about 30 minutes or so based on what products and what are the things you want or what are the issues you face. But it's all focusing on one thing at a time. Okay. And then we can then basically work it out together, and I'll set it up, and then you can have your email marketing campaign up and running. Okay. The thing is this: if we don't start, nothing will happen. It's nice to have a lot of people who's been telling me, yeah, I know email marketing is useful and all. I don't have time. I don't have this and all that stuff. So now, instead of spending too long, maybe 3 months like I used to do with my higher-end programs, let's do one that is simple, which is basically just 7 days to set up. Okay. And then since it's done for you, you basically need to work with me with the information and those things, and we can get it done and up and running. And you will know within a month whether your campaign is going to work, not going to work, and at least you know whether your list is actually useful or not. Okay. So this is an offer. I'm going to run this for the month of July. I'm basically going to start working with 5 customers, or basically 5 clients, to get this one up. And the idea is to build that framework. And eventually, obviously, the prices will increase. But for now, if you are part of the early 5 members group, then you get a pretty nice price to start. Okay. And because I want to basically make sure that the framework and all these things is going to work for your business, more importantly, and it's going to have some fun. Okay. So with that, that's the end of this session of Ask Andrew Anything. Just a quick recap. If you have any questions, all right, uh, just basically, oh, this is the one. This is one. So if you have any questions, just go to this particular URL, Ask Andrew Anything, fill in your questions like what Trisha did, And I will do my level best to answer your questions and probably give you some tips that you can use and do your email marketing and make it more profitable for you. All right. So this is Andrew Wong signing out, and I'll see you next week. Cheers. Bye.